Hi, Facebook world. It's Angie Garza, Director of Professional Learning at ROE 47, serving Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside counties. We're back for another edition of our Thursday Teacher Talk. And this Thursday's edition is very special because we are joined by two of our own to talk with us a little bit more about the role and the services that we are able to provide some of our administrators here in our 3-county area. So as we get started for our Thursday Teacher Talk, I would like to welcome my friend and co-host, Ms. Stacy Dingus, who is our Digital Teaching and Learning Specialist.
Good morning, Angie. How are you?
Great. I would be even better if we were experiencing some warmer temperatures, but spring is coming. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. We also have with us Jeff Brown, and Jeff is one of our longtime administrator coaches here at the office. Hello, Jeff. Good morning.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good morning, and it's thrilling to be here in this nice, cold temperatures.
It's good that we're all safely tucked at home at this point, I think.
Yes.
Also joining us here today on our Teacher Talk is Ruth Ann Toby Brown. And Ruth Ann also supports our administrators by doing a lot of our evaluation training. Hi, Ruth Ann.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Angie. It's good to be here in this nice, beautiful, cold February morning.
Ruth Ann, I love that you are seated very kind of cozily next to your fireplace. I hope you're staying warm.
Yes.
So as we kind of get started with our conversations this morning, we're really, again, going to be focusing on the role of the educational leader and what that looks like and how we're working to support everyone in our 3-county area with this important work in education.
Jeff, I think we're going to get started with you today. You know, you have had a lot of experience as an administrator, and we have talked on these teacher talks with teachers and students and other administrators about how roles have changed in public education. Can you tell us a little bit about how you think the role of an administrator has changed over the last few years?
I certainly can. It's definitely been a profound change, actually. When I was my first 2 years as an administrator, as a principal, 90% of my interview for that position was based on discipline. Back years ago, principals were considered building managers, disciplinarians, and that was their focus, to be quite honest. They wanted the buildings to run smoothly. The teachers will do their job. The principal is the manager of the building. But times have changed, laws have changed, guidelines have changed. The focus with school principals now, they're wearing a multitude of hats. With federal policies changing, special ed laws changing, the high stakes testing and increased emphasis on school performance, those added responsibilities along with curriculum are creating some significant issues with, young principals as well as tenured principals. I think the importance of having a vision and a shared vision with the staff, the community, and the board is extremely important. I think the relationship with the superintendent is incredibly important. And I really think that coaching and mentoring is a key to success for the young administrator. I know going in myself, I had several sleepless nights in the beginning because I didn't have someone that I could turn to necessarily at that time. As I came to Rock Falls, I had a superintendent who was a mentor, who was someone who helped guide me, and I needed that. And I think every new administrator does. So that being said, I think right now, principals, as they're working on curriculum, the testing piece, the remote piece, and everything else, they're still trying to, promote the positive relationship building between students and students, between students and teachers, between the adult population within the buildings. And so times have changed. Students' access to information is instantaneous. Before we say, go to the library, get a world book, and tomorrow we'll take a look at, your answers or what have you, the research. Now it's instantaneous. With that comes instantaneous problems that principals are dealing with regarding social media, bullying, and those types of issues. So times have changed significantly.
You talked a little bit about the importance of mentorship. What are some other supports that you think administrators, especially maybe new administrators, would need in order to have a successful year?
You know, I think one important component is to develop a school improvement team within your building that of members you trust. Create that trusting relationship between the staff and yourself, between the students and yourself, and the community. And that's done by being transparent. That's done by not having all the answers. That's done by seeking out information when you need it. My mentor told me, Mr. Brown, respond, don't react to situations. So take time to think out what it is you're trying to do. And if you don't have the answer, you don't have the answer. The other area of support is developing cohorts. And what we've done at the ROE is we've developed the administrative cohorts on a monthly basis where Angie and you, Stacy, and the rest of the ROE team have an opportunity to share, what's going on, as well as colleagues sharing with colleagues. And I think that piece is significantly important.
So I just want to remind all of our listeners on Facebook that Jeff is one critical component of our team who works to help provide that mentorship to new and even veteran administrators. And with all of the changes that are occurring in education, it's so important to have that critical friend, in addition to some of the other networking and collaboration kinds of activities and events and things that we sponsor here at the office. Another vital support that we're able to provide to administrators is related to evaluation. And we know, as Jeff mentioned, really kind of moving that administrator role from managerial to the instructional leadership, among other things. And so to be an instructional leader, we have to give good feedback. So Ruth Ann is our resident expert on our evaluation system. Ruth Ann, can you talk with us just a little bit about perhaps the importance of teacher evaluation and maybe a little bit about how you help to support that?
As evaluators, as principal evaluators, as superintendent evaluators, we have to go through our training that we have every 5 years. So one of the things that we do in our evaluator training that I think is very important is that we network, and we can talk about inter-rater reliability. When we first went into evaluating teachers and principals, it was all that training was done by ourselves. And now the state has said, we need to talk to each other about this. So we talk about feedback and how important that is and how it can look and how it can really enable teachers to do better. We talk about bias and how that is really something that has no place in evaluations. And so the state has done a really good job of making our classes so that people can really learn from each other. And that is one of the most important parts of it, is learning from each other and our reflections on the evaluation process.
Ruth Ann, what academies or what training do evaluators need in order to be able to evaluate in the state of Illinois?
Well, initially, we have now a new program that is set up for just new evaluators, and it's a 2-day program, and it's pretty intense. And we again, we can talk to each other, we discuss things, and the main goal is to have them pass the evaluator training so that they can evaluate teachers. And this is new to most of these people because they've never had to evaluate someone before except their students in their classroom. So it's that part is difficult, but it's also very meaningful, I think. We've done a few of the classes and have been able to do it face to face. Digitally, it'll be a little bit harder, but it's possible. With retraining, we have to do your professional growth or your professional practices. And they have to do one of those academies. And then they have to do the evaluator training candidate, which is for both teacher evaluation or principal evaluation. So in that particular class, I will have principals and superintendents. The superintendents have another 1865 that they have to do, and I am not trained at this time to do that training.
Ruthann, that's great information, because we know that as we move into the spring, we have more of our evaluators who will need either initial certification or that retraining piece. So thanks for sharing that critical information with everyone.
And that retraining piece has to be done by June 30th of their licensure year. So they need to make sure that they are in compliance with that.
Thank you. That wraps up our Teacher Talk Thursday for this week. Just a really important reminder and message. If you haven't stopped to thank an administrator today, please do so. They do a lot for our school communities in leading this important work with our parents, our students, and our teacher colleagues. Also, if you're sitting out there listening and you are a teacher and an aspiring leader, please don't be afraid to reach out to us for more information. We know that we have a shortage right now in the state of Illinois, and it's a really exciting time to be an educational leader. So we are more than happy to support our aspiring and existing administrators in ROE 47 with all of their passions and their efforts in their school communities. So on behalf of Stacy Dingus, our special guest today, Ruthann Toby Brown, and Jeff Brown, we would like to say thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful Thursday and an even better weekend. And we'll see you back here next Thursday for another edition of Teacher Talk.